What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, it's Leanne. We're getting blissed out with Heart-Based Community Podcast Series number 27. Today, I have an amazing friend that I met online, another yogi from India, and his name is Adi. Hi, Adi.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
You're good? And what city are you in India right now?
What time it is?
City and time and place.
City. City is in like state Rajasthan, Kota. If you ever heard about Kota, Indians people might know about Kota. But it's like near to the Jaipur. Jaipur is famous city in the Rajasthan.
Mm,
And time is like morning 10 a.m. guess.
10 a.m. Nice. Well, audience, one beautiful thing happened when me and Adi, we connected first. We had a connection related to yoga, the foundation of part of my lineage and my practice of my lifestyle. And his lifestyle out in India is helping and serving so many people with the similar things. But he taught me something so magnificent that day that I said, I need to have a podcast someday with him about this. And he taught me about the elements of nature in my hand, according to Ayurveda and yoga. So I really wanted to stress on how beautiful that was presented to me and offered to you as a community to see that in Bliss Don't Network as I build this podcast and as we continue to give good information. I don't know. I want to say good or bad. I say we were sharing information about what we love.
Yes.
So Adi,
So
over to you. You take it on and you teach us something beautiful about the power of the hand.
Namaste. And that is why in India, we always follow this culture and we believe that our hands are not just to do the usual things or just to count the money, but it is like magnificent powers in our hands.
Mm.
Okay. And if you go to the yoga, if you go to the Ayurveda or any Indian or Eastern Vedic scripture things, we always begin with the five elements. Yoga start with the five elements, Ayurveda start with the five. Life starts with the five elements and ends with the five. So this body is made of the five elements, right? Is anybody know the five elements? Do you know the five elements?
Fire, air, earth, water, and ether.
That's four. One missing.
Fire, air, earth, water, and ether.
Oh, done. So you remember then the following of the fingers, which dominated with which one?
You were telling me like the biggest finger had the biggest element.
Yeah. So today we will try to understand that how this hands can be connected with our elements in the body. That's why we have the five fingers to dominate our five elements. First of all, if you ever hear about Indian culture, we people like to cook with hands, we like to eat with hands, and we use all the sort of the things for the hands. And usually, if you will see, if you are cuddling somebody, you always use your hand, right? If you love your son and you're like, oh, my beautiful son, and your pet, you're like, oh, my pet, and they instantly feel how connected you are with them, right? We
Mm.
never do that thing like we take a spoon or we take a stick and rub on their head and like, oh, how much I love you. We don't cuddle with the something else. We use our energy to show the love, right?
Mm.
And same way, eating is also connected with your respect towards the food. Understand? It is same like loving. Everything, whatever you do, it must be full of loving.
Mm.
Understand? How you can be more loved? You can be more loved only when you are more connected.
Mm.
Connecting means love. Love means what? What is love? You do something for me and then I will say, oh, you love me? Or somebody brings something to you and you say you love me? No, love is not about bringing, receiving, or giving. Love is never about bringing, loving, giving something. Because if you say that God is inspired by the love, that God wants love, right? And you can say, but God is the supreme personality of Godhead. He has everything. What you can give me to show your love? What you can give him to show him his love? That's what happens with the people, those who become super rich, and they start to feel that there is no love in this world. Why? Because when you have everything, now how you can make this person happy? What you can give this? For
Mm,
example, a woman has so much billions and trillions of money. Now she has all the beautiful men she need for the physical need. She has all the gifts she need. She has all the cars and whatever you think that can make a woman happy. She has all that thing. Now the first thing will come to her mind after some time, after she little bit awake, that what is the love? You know, if I,
mm,
for example, I buy something and I give you, and you're like, oh, Aditya loves me, right? And if you buy something, you cook something for your son and you get, oh, you love me. If you did not do this, other person, you don't love me anymore. You're not cooking for me. You don't do this for me. You don't give me the gifts. You don't buy me the things, you know? You don't show me your respect. But people, those who are super, super rich, even the very normal people will show very big respect to them. You know, people, those who are super rich, people show them big respect. So what is the love? What is that love that can inspire even the God? See
mm,
here, the thing is that we are here to talk about five elements, but I'm talking about beyond the elements of the life, because the life is come above the elements by balancing them.
mm,
Yoga and Ayurveda are essential, but not only the thing of the life. This is essential to bring the balance in our system so that we can have this thought above the five elements.
mm. Very nice.
Otherwise, what is the benefit of being healthy? Because one day you are going to get sick. One day we are going to get die. Why we are telling lie to ourselves that, oh, I will remain forever, you know?
Mm,
One day your all duties, whatever duty you have today, this will be taken from you.
mm,
Whatever duty you think was more essential for you, you living for this duty particular thing. One day this duty is going to take away from you. Why are you ignoring this basic fundamental thing?
mm,
Whatever duty you're doing in your life, but to make you think, this is me. I am the president of this particular place. One day your presidency will be taken away from you. What you are proud about? What is that thing which is going to stay? Then this thing will hit on your consciousness. Oh, I have to look for something which will stay. Then this awakening comes in the self. This awakening is the most important thing. You know, I also told you the first class, the three most important things, most rare things. I will tell them in any other session, like 108 podcast. So today we are here to today we are here to connect with our five elements, because I can take your 5 hours, yet it will be enough and enough to speak and speak and speak and speak. It will be never ending. So
Oh, it's so
five
good.
elements.
So good. It's so good. Careful. It's so good.
Thank you. So our body is basically made of the five elements, and
Mm,
all the five elements, if balanced, if they are working in the balanced way, we live in this particular place to be more healthier, wealthier with our system, right? But the thing is that what we are ignoring nowadays, we are ignoring the touch. We are ignoring because the things which happen in 2020, people get afraid that, oh, even touching can spread this and spread that. And people get afraid even to hug, and people get even afraid to go out, and people get afraid to even doing the certain things which is was needed for that particular time, for some particular duration, right?
mm,
Somewhere a little bit, right?
mhm,
So we come to the five elements, and why we need to always using our hands to do the things. For example, your hands cleansingness is in your hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the cleansingness of your spoon is not in your hand.
Mm,
It's some another object than you.
mm.
What is most easiest to clean, you or to the another object?
You.
Yourself.
Yeah.
You can clean yourself better than the another object. You cannot know about fully about the another thing, but you can know about fully about yourself. But what this society is trying to teach you from childhood to now, forget about yourself and become something else.
Mm,
Forget about you and try to be like him. Have your idol, have your hobby, have your I want to become this. You know, it happened with me many times when I was in school, when I was very young in school, and teacher always, any teacher, any new teacher comes in the room and she's like, what you guys want to become when you become elder? What you guys want to become? What you guys want to become? And everybody stands up and they say, oh, I want to be doctor, I want to be teacher, I want to be engineer, I want to be astronaut. Mostly people say astronauts, and they never become astronaut. So mostly people mostly people say used to say something. And what was your answer? Did it happen with you too?
well, at that time, yeah, I kind of, my mom was a hairdresser, so I became a hairdresser at that time. But then the awakening, like when we did our interview, my awakening is what changed my whole life. So there's unknown.
No, my question is that what you answered them, what you want to become when you was little kid.
Uh, w- Main thing was a rock and roll star.
The rock and roll style. That's with all the students, and there are many students, backbenchers, or those who like I don't want to become anything. And I was one of them and teach, but I was in the front line. And my teacher is like, are you backbencher? You have no goals, you have nothing. And I was like, I don't want to become something, but I have to copy somebody and say, okay, I also want to be astronaut. Sometimes I say this to satisfy the teacher ego. But all the time from the childhood, this was hitting me that everybody somewhere know what they want to become or what they want to do, maybe in the ignorance, maybe in the knowledge, but I don't even know. But when I grown up, when I understand the yoga and Ayurveda, when I understand the life, I found the answer that we don't want to become something, we need to become me first,
Mm,
which is ignored by the whole system all the time, just to make us more influenced, more into entangled into the material world. By how? By from the childhood putting this into your system, become something, otherwise you are failure. Become something, otherwise you are down. Otherwise you are backbencher. And that's killing the children from growing up in their original form.
from nature.
Yes, from finding their true talent. Understand?
Mm,
And that is what keeping us far away from five elements. And that is what keeping us far, slowly trying to keep us five from the our fingers as well. In in yogic practice, it says that by rubbing your both palms together like this, it's charge up your whole entire body. So if somebody knows that in the yogic practice, yogic practitioner, every morning when he wakes up, he first do just rub his palms. Because by rubbing your palms like this, you charge your entire physical body, your
mm,
all five elements.
mm,
Okay. Now I will try to little tell about the each element dominated with each finger. So first is your thumb. Your thumb is dominated with what? Fire. And that is why, if you have seen the ancestors of our time, they always say like this, I'm ready. We do this, I'm ready, right? We never do this, I am ready. Let's go. Somebody do like this, I'm ready, let's go. We always do this. Yes, all good, ready. And when you are sick, you always say, oh, today I'm feeling down. I don't have enough energy. I'm down. You know, we do this. I'm down today. I cannot go. So why we are doing this, not doing this? I'm down today. I don't want to, or we not, I'm down today. I don't want to go. Right? Why we do this? Because somewhere the old people, the old siddhis, yogis, they know that the fire element is connected with the thumb, and you guys going to forget about this. So they put it into our culture. They put it in that way, and we automatically doing this.
Hmm.
Automatically is happening with us. The fire is in our thumb. Okay.
Mhm.
Now we come to the second element, which is the air, the index finger.
Mhm.
Third one is the ether. Fourth one is the ground,
Earth.
earth element, and the last one is the air. These five elements are always flowing with our fingers, always growing through our fingers. That's why in yogic culture we have different mudras to practice, so
Mm.
that we bring the alignment of our fingers to the alignment of our elements.
Mm. So that's
That's what
fire, water,
air,
ether, air, and no, earth,
no, no.
ether,
One,
earth, and air.
so one more time, I will try to give this lesson to the students to easily remember that fire always goes up and air always goes sideways. Okay? Remember, air
Okay.
goes side, fire goes up. Fine? Then
Yeah.
we come to the second gesture like this. What is most high?
Ether, the cosmos,
Yes. What is after cosmos?
earth,
Earth. What is inside the earth when you drill the hole?
water.
So that's why we have one longer finger than smaller, so that you will be remembered. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Easy to remember. Now we come to the point that our immunity is very much depends on our hands, right? Because whatever is happening around, you don't touch your head, you don't touch your nose, you don't touch your chest to the things, but you touching your hands to the things always. When you're doing the gardening, you putting your hands into the ground. When you're doing cooking, you're putting your hands on the cooking. When you're cleaning, you're putting your hands in the, your hands are going through the all house, all city, all places. What does it mean? That they always observing the life
Mm.
around you.
Mm.
And the body is designed in so fantastic way that if I today touch your hand like this,
Mm.
and I'm gone, but your biceps will forever remember this touch on your biceps. For
Mm.
example, have you ever think that you have this kind of eyes, and your eyes somewhere is like your mother or like your grandmother or like your grandfather? What does it mean? It means that body, our DNA, our system is always grasping the all the thoughts and all the memories and all the things happening around so precisely that it's keep coming into the coming generation. Your son, your daughter, your family will be somewhere looking like somebody else in your family,
Mm.
right? What does it mean? That body is grasping the all the memories, all the information, all the things.
Mm.
So for example, when you start eating, when you eating, you only eat with your mouth, sorry, or you only eat with your eyes. You see that when you see some very tasty looking, only looking, you did not eat that, but it make you juices produce in your tummy. Oh, just looking so beautiful. I'm feeling hungry, right? And it happened that when the food come to you and you smell it, and it makes you hungry and the juices in your tummy is increased. Ayurveda is come to that point where the Western is opposed to it. Western is telling, take this nutrition and you will be happy. Ayurveda is saying, observe the nutrition. Then even by eating the leaves, you will be surviving healthy fully.
Mm.
Here we are not focusing on the observation, observing into the body, but we are focused on giving. Give anything nutritious food and this will become healthy. But Ayurveda is saying you can eat normal good things, no big problem. Just make your digestive system so advanced that whatever you will eat, the body will create
Mm.
whatever you needed. That's why we see some people who eating very basic things and they are fully fantastically healthy and fine. And on the other side, somebody is eating tons of multivitamins, tons of food, tons of vegetables, tons of good healthy food, yet they are sick. What is the big difference between these two guys? The one guy on the other side is having very good digestive fire, having good digestive tract. So
Mm.
even eating very little, eating very normal thing can make him very healthy.
Mm.
On the other side, the one who is cooking all the vitamins and multivitamins and this and that, but his digestive tract is not observing the energy.
Mm.
Not observing, if not observing, then what? All coming out on the poop. Nothing is going into the body.
Mm.
Understand? So Ayurveda come to the point that you not only eat with your mouth or with your digestive tract, but you eat with your eyes. That's why we say, bring the food looking good, looking clean, looking fresh, looking tasty. Not just put the bowl into the microwave, boil it up, and I sleep. This is happening. This is happening nowadays. They put the food into the microwave, they close it, they run it and bring it out and run.
Or there's
What
emotional
is
eating, there's emotional eating, or there's like depressed eating, there's emotions, all these different emotions tied into.
yes, emotion ties into. That's why we say sit and then eat. Sit, get fresh, get everything done, and then eat.
Mm.
And the thing that what I'm trying to say here, that we not only eat with the eyes and the nose with the smell, but we also eat with the touch.
Mm.
So what we are doing here, when you touch the food, you observe, is this sticky? Is this uh, juicy? Is this dry? Is this looking, how it's feeling? That is also observed with your hands. And then your body get activated for that particular energy. And then when you put it in your mouth, that juices increases and they're like, oh, I'm feeling satisfied. Rather than eating with ton of the food with the spoon and feeling not satisfied. You see these people, those who eat all tastier but yet not satisfied. Why? Because the food is not get digest well.
I'd like to bring it
And the
back to like
second,
the point that you had in the very beginning, just so that I would like to center the wisdom that you have, because the reality of people not being happy um, with having so much, for example, and understanding the law of simplicity, or the art of simplicity and the joy of living more peaceful, right? I really feel like that's the point of like the value of your hand, the value of the nature of the elements, the value of energy creating, the value of all these wisdoms that are all coming through you right now. It's so many wonderful examples that you're giving. I just wanted to recenter it back to the point of like, why are we here? The whole aspect of what you were going beyond even the good and bad in that conscious perspective that you're holding space for with all these elements of who are we and what is Sanatana Dharma.
coming above all the things, coming above. Somewhere, some people says that simplicity, simple life, it's about being poor. There's not connected with poor. If you look at the Indian Vedic culture, people used to be like having golds and silvers and silver and tons of tons quality, you know, and they're still simple. Simple is meaning of being you particularly simple rather than you pretending to be simple and you trying to show that, oh, I'm poor and I'm simple. You know, it says in India that somebody stop eating halawa and another person came to him and said, you stop eating halawa? And he said, yes, I'm stop eating halawa. And he said, you have halawa? He said, no, I don't have. That's why you're not eating. Sometimes people don't have the things and they claim that, oh, I don't do that. You have them, and then you can go. Like you have the tons of different spoon, but yet you give respect to your hands and you try to do it with things with your hands, with the five elements using of your hands. What I was saying also that when you eat, usually when people eating, they nowadays forgets about even sometimes cleansing up their hands, washing their hands goodly with the soap. They forget about this. Why? Because they're going to eat with the spoon. But when we are going to eat with our hands, we always cleanse our hand because we know that we are going to use our hands for that thing. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So all the things of the five elements is it can be go more deeper and deeper in its own way. I would like to end up the thing here. If you have any more question, you can ask to more. I can also tell you.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so many wonderful things, even with the eating of the food with the elements and the energy of starting your day, the energy that goes into the food, the vibration, and then the mudras, the vibration of pranayama, pranic healing, the body in its own breath, how our body is designed as so intelligent to give us good health, but somehow with the West and the East, we got lost with two different ways of looking at things. And so that's why I appreciate both, because I really feel like obviously the divine is there in all things, that it's giving us expansion of wisdom and the abundance of anybody. Like I have friends of mine who are multimillionaires who are giving a lot all the time, and they provide so much love and happiness to many people. But I do agree, I have multimillionaire friends that are totally miserable. I feel like we need to be using our energy and our intelligence in order to find out what our purpose is through our wisdom and our gifts. And I think you found your gift in giving this, like as you had no desire as a child, you found your way through giving your gift of wisdom with yoga and Ayurveda and serving the community the best that you can.
That's all mercy of the divine. That's all mercy of the God. Ajran. So
So good.
here,
So yeah, I just feel like the question and answer, we can always, Aditya, where do people, you have your YouTube channel too. So this will be linked on my YouTube channel, but yours is Aditya with Love. And there's so many wonderful things there, friends, to check out. And even him playing the flute, there's a lot of beautiful videos that you can check out, and you can see my beautiful friend. We'll be doing more podcasting on different topics, but this is our start on my side. We have started on his side last week. And, we want to bring more of the wisdom, because I just finished my 500-hour yoga, and in there, it's a fountain. Like it's a fountain of how much, like even today, just studying about the koshas, and like when I'm teaching even dynamic methods, why we need to get people ready to understand their food body and their energetic body so that they're more vital and understand good health. Like all of the koshas are even like developed through these 5 layers of fire, air, earth, and water, and ether. So we'll talk about that next. I think the koshas will be a really great topic. Aditya, it's so good to be with you, my friend. Is there anything else that you want to bless us with?
I would like to bless with the one practice that we always do, bringing your both palms together, rubbing your both palms together, and you have to feel that I am the most joyful, blissful soul. I'm the most joyful. Just close your eyes and feel that I am the most beautiful creation of the God, and feeling that joy in your soul, and show your and keep rubbing your palms in the way that you warming up the energy, not only just warming up your whole palms, but this is in charging that particular energy going into your system. For example, when you're rubbing your both palms and you are blissful. So what happening in this time that your palms are observing the bliss and growing into your whole system, bringing that bliss into your system. And place your both palms on your eyes and let the things to be more settled. Let the things to be more and more easier. Becoming easier, becoming simple.
Like hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil.
That's the thing everybody must do in the first thing in the morning. Like when you wakes up, you need to rub your palms, feel that I am most joyful, blissful, and then place your palms on your eyes. What happens that it says that our eyes are always observing, always grasping, right? Eyes are the only are five elements. One of the senses of the eye is always observing. They give hardly tears, but they are also not giving tears. This is not the eyes, this is the body, you know. But the eyes are only observing all the time. So it says that anything you want to change in yourself, like you want to change your habit for something, then bring it front of your eyes. When you bring it front of your eyes, that change will body will observe quickly. Front of your eyes and front of your ears. Your ears are also always and always observing. These two senses are way too much if anybody want to change any habit. So if you want to connect it more to the divine, more to the joy, more to the bliss, just be careful what you are listening and what you are watching.
It's so good to be with you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day. Many
Namaste.
blessings to India. Be safe, okay?
Yes, thank you and many blessings for all the people who's watching us and lots of love. Feel free to connect me on the YouTube, Facebook, or you can find any way. And also I teach yoga personally. So anybody would like to practice yoga with me or learn to be more Ayurvedic and more things to, if anybody develop, you know that mostly my students are yoga teacher themselves, and sometimes it feel like that they are learning from 25 years. I'm yoga teacher, he's the yoga teacher in 25 years, and still they find satisfactory things to be known, because yoga is not like I learned. Mostly people say I done the certificate 500 hour, you know, I'm learned. And I always feel like I still feel like I'm not learned. I'm still learning. Still, when I watch the sun, I'm learning. Still, when I watch the stars in the evening, I'm learning. When I watch the tree moving, I'm learning. When I watch the wind touching to my skin, it's still teaching. When I see you, I am learning. When I see the things, I'm still learning, still trying to find the truth, still trying to grasp the ungraspable, which is hidden somewhere, which is still there, but we are not able to grasp it. So that's the purpose of the life. Never feel yourself that I understood what you understood, what we can be understand, you know. The thing is that being simple is start with that I am not simple. I want to become simple. I want to become simple. So that's all for today. Thank you again for your
Aditya
wonderful
love.
interview.
See you
Take
soon.
care.